Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our 9-month Ultimate World Cruise adventure. And today we're in Nagasaki, Japan, where we found this to be just an incredible, beautiful city where we also remember the end of World War II.
Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we're living that full life aboard Royal Caribbean's 9-month Ultimate World Cruise on Serenade of the Seas.
We sure are. Well, friends, today we are in Nagasaki, Japan, and we're just going to tour on our own, or when I say on our own, we're with two other couples that are friends of ours. And so the first thing we did after we got off the ship is we hailed a cab, and we went to Mount Inama, which this is kind of a must-do place because here we took a cable car up to the top of the mountain, and it was breathtaking. It was just so spectacular to see the bay, and we could see our ship from the mountain. And in fact, this the top of this mountain has it's one of the top 3 nighttime views
in the world.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Along
we
with
weren't there at night.
Along with places like Monte Carlo, and yeah, it is. And I can just imagine. And if a little pro tip, if you do want to go see the nighttime view, you may need a reservation to either go up the cable car or the funicular, or they call it the slope car, to get up to the top. You can actually even take a taxi that will take you all the way to the top as well. So there's 3 ways you can get to the top of this mountain. We actually went up the cable car, had our view.
We did, yeah. And at the top also is a big TV tower that's up there as well. And we spent some time up there. And I think it was about $9 to take the cable car up or to go round trip.
Right.
But when we got up there, we saw that there was a slope car going down the mountain that actually took a different path. And the slope car was only $2
to go one way. Yeah.
So we decided, well, let's just go ahead and take the slope car.
Let's have an adventure.
Down. Yes. And it takes actually over like a little animal park. We could see some animals down below us, but it took us kind of to the back side of the mountain into a park area.
Right. So the slope car goes down kind of a monorail track, and it actually is the car does slope against the mountain. So the car is always level coming down, and then the bottom carriage goes on the track and goes all the way down. So it was a fun little thing to go do. However, when we got to the bottom of the slope car, and again, we came up one way and came down another. As Nancy mentioned, we're on the back side of the mountain in this park. Well, that's actually quite a ways outside of town, and we ended up having a little bit of a trouble getting a taxi to take us back into town. Now, if you've watched our other video on Japan, you'll find that we've discovered the taxis are very affordable. They're fair. They're honest. They all are metered. And so don't ever worry about taking a taxi in Japan. They're really a good way to get around.
But you need the Go app
on
your phone in order to hail a taxi. And that works kind of the same way that Uber would work in the United States.
Right. So we were using our Go app trying to get a taxi to come out to this park to get us. And it actually took us several tries before somebody picked up the fare, came out and picked us up. So we did get a ride, but just be aware that if you're going to go to the back side of the mountain, you're a little bit further away from town, and you might have a little bit more trouble getting a taxi to come to that side. So just be prepared and get the Go app downloaded, get your credit card put into it so that you are all prepared to hail taxis. And we actually used that app several times today. Yep. Well, after we did get our taxi, it took us back into town, and we had him drop us off at the Peace Park.
That was very interesting, kind of very sombering and all, but that was a very interesting park to wander through. One of the first things that we did while we were there, because we were feeling a little peckish, and there was a fella selling ice cream, but not just any ordinary ice cream. No, he was making roses out of the ice cream. And I was like, well, that's cute. Let's try one of those.
Yeah, and that is so quintessential Japan, taking simple things and just making the most out of them, making them beautiful, and just a simple vanilla ice, kind of homemade flavored ice cream. And those roses were just gorgeous. All three of you ladies had a rose ice cream cone, and that was really nice.
And I think it was a couple dollars.
If that, it was it was I think $1.25 actually for the cone. And then we walked around the Peace Park, as Nancy mentioned. We saw the large peace statue, and then this park contains sculptures that are donated from countries all over the world, all in the name of preserving world peace. So you can see them from, everywhere from Finland to Canada to the United States, everywhere. There's all kinds of sculptures throughout here. And then there's the Peace Fountain, which if you look at it from the front side is like wings of a dove for peace. Obviously, and we haven't really said this yet in the video. I guess we were kind of assuming people know, but Nagasaki was the site of the second atomic bombing that ended World War II. And so that's where they obviously have a huge drive to maintain world peace. They were the obviously felt the brunt of war and the terribleness of war right there at the end of World War II. And so that's what we're seeing today. It's starting with the Peace Park and then moving on to our next location, which is going to be the site where the atomic bomb actually did detonate.
It was about a quarter-mile walk to get to the site where the atomic bomb had been detonated.
Yeah, from the Peace Park.
From the Peace Park. And at this area, we were able to walk down some stairs down to the river area. And in this area, what was interesting is they had part of a wall glassed off that you could look at that was ground level at the time of the detonation. And so you could see broken glass, you see like the lid of a can and
ceiling tiles,
half a pair of pliers were they, just kind of random things that were there.
They maintained that exactly how it was back in 1945. And then also in that area below the detonation site, they have a monument, obviously. They moved part of a church that was, it originally, I think, is about 1 mile to 2 miles away from here, and it was destroyed in the bombing, and they took one of the corner pieces, the original, and they moved it here too. I believe it was the St. Francis Assisi Church, and you can see that pillar as well. And then it's been long enough now, they have the 50th anniversary monument is here in the park as well. It's a very peaceful park, very nice, lots of tourists. I mean, obviously this is one of the main reasons people come to Nagasaki is to remember, and we always don't ever want to forget the horrors of war, so that we do our best not to repeat them. But this was a little bit more of a somber, serious touring than some of the places that we've obviously gone in the past. But enjoyable. It was very good to see this and to be at the place where this has occurred.
And even a few cherry blossom trees.
Yeah,
we're still blooming,
hanging on, and it was a very, very nice park. So we've actually now been to Trinity Site in New Mexico, where we used to live. That was the site of the very first detonation, and those that have seen the movie Oppenheimer, you saw Trinity Site, and now we've seen Nagasaki. So kind of the two ends of that. Well, on a little less serious note, we left the park. And it was around lunchtime, but we decided that we were going to really wait to have a meal for dinner. So we just wanted to get something a little lighter. What we did then is we walked to just a local grocery store. They had a bakery. We grabbed a few baked goods. And in fact, they had a bakery hot dog. So the hot dog challenge continues. So we tried a bakery hot dog. In fact, we tried two. A pizza dog.
And a cheese dog.
Yeah. And so we just found a park, sat down on a bench, got a little drink, and just enjoyed a little snack there.
They were very average.
Yeah, it wasn't. Especially after the Korean corn dog we talked about a couple days ago. But you know what? It was not bad. It just satisfied a little tea, kind of almost an afternoon tea kind of thing.
That's right.
So we had our snack in the park, and then we got on the trolley. So they have streetcars there in Nagasaki. We went and paid our, and this is what's interesting. So if you want to ride the trolley, and this is the way quite a few places are in Japan, you pay after you ride. So you get on the trolley, there's no payment, and then at the front of the trolley, they even have a change machine. So you can take like 1,000 yen bill, stick it in, it will drop out 100 yen coins, and then you pay
the exact fare.
Right. So it gives you small change, so then you can pay the exact fare in the little change pocket thing. So that's what we did. We got on, made some change, and then we're ready to get off. You drop in, and I think it was 140 yen, which is like 90 cents.
$1. Yes, about $1.
To ride the trolley. And that was really nice. So we're trying to take every possible type of transportation in Nagasaki. So we've done a cable car, a slope car, a taxi, and now a trolley. Right. And we've walked. So it's been a good day for transportation so far. But we took that down to Chinatown.
On our way to Chinatown, there was a Pachinko Parlor, and I had never seen a Pachinko Parlor before. It's a form of Japanese gambling that uses like little ball bearings. Don't quite understand it. We didn't try it. We just watched. There were people that were avidly involved in it, and it looked like something maybe similar to a pinball machine with all these ball bearings dropping down. So
yeah. So you basically buy a tray of ball bearings, and then you play it. You see if you win more ball bearings, and then you can trade in those ball bearings for prizes and things, but there's also a way you can trade them in for cash. And again, it's kind of a way to gamble without gambling. There's actually some great YouTube videos out there. So if you look up Pachinko, there's some people that have done some really good.
You can learn more about it.
But it's quite fascinating. And we may try it someday. I think next time we're in Japan, we'll brave in there and give Pachinko a try. So no, that was a lot of fun. But then we walked through the arches of the Chinatown.
So Chinatown in Japan.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
I was very quiet there. We were there early afternoon at this point, and really a lot of the restaurants didn't open until around 5 o'clock, and so the streets were relatively quiet. A few of the stores were open, and so we walked throughout there. One of the stores, things are just charming. Okay, things are just charming in Japan. Things are happy. They're cute. And like one of the stores we went into had all these artificial trees and blue lights, and it just kind of draws you in. It's so interesting.
Well, after visiting Chinatown, we went for a walk to see the oldest bridge in Japan, the Manani Bridge. And this was built in 1634. It's also called the Spectacles Bridge, and it is quite beautiful. And in fact, there's an entire series of old stone bridges here that go throughout the river. And it's a wonderful and beautiful place to go visit. Makes for great pictures. You can even go down into the river, and there's a little walkway along the river. There's stepping stones in the river, so you can get different pictures from places. But it's certainly worth a visit to go see the Spectacles Bridge. But while we were there in that area,
right, we went to a famous bakery called Munina, and I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, friends. But it sells castella cakes, and castella cakes have been around since the time of the emperor. That they made castella cakes to give to the emperor, and we brought home a few, home being our cabin, a few, and we'll try one now here and see how it is.
This particular bakery was from 1900 is when it was founded. Now, it's not the oldest bakery in Nagasaki. There's actually a couple that are a little older than this, but this is the most famous bakery, and it's just rose to prominence over time. So.
Okay. There's a filling inside. There's a filling inside that. So, and it's very, very soft, almost cookie, like a very, very soft cookie. Oh, that's yummy. That's a good,
yummy.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, I'll have to try it too then. Oh, okay.
We've actually had a couple of these cakes already, and they were more like a pound cake.
Yeah, this
one is very different. So this is what the package.
This one's a Holland style. Yeah. So they had all kinds of different cakes. We just got kind of a little variety. You can see that.
That was
you
good.
Place them in the basket, set the basket on the counter, and then they ring you up. And again, not super expensive. We found Japan, we were expecting it to be so expensive, and we found it to actually be very reasonable. Well, after the bakery with our treats in hand, we decided it really was time to have dinner now. And we were very near, in this area with the bridges, we're very near the kind of center of entertainment shopping. There's some covered streets that have tons of restaurants, different shops and stores and things. And so we're in Japan. We decided we wanted to have sushi dinner, and we looked around and found a very highly rated one. And it happened to be a train sushi restaurant.
Bullet train
It
sushi
did,
restaurant.
but there was a little bit of wait, so I went up, got our name put in, and was waiting. And while we did that, you and the other friends went and did a little shopping.
Yep, we went to a store called the Daiso, and the best way I can describe that is it's like the dollar store in the United States. I don't know if everything is dollar or 110 yen, but I got some origami paper, and that was 110 yen each. And they're having an enrichment lecture come on board to teach origami while we're here in Japan. So I wanted to get a little bit of paper while we were there, and that was the place to buy it.
It was, and we've seen origami paper in some other stores. It's a lot more expensive, so this is quite a bargain.
Yeah, I actually think this is pretty thin. Maybe paper, but anyway, maybe the other was better quality. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, after you did your shopping, they called our name and they sat us here at the sushi restaurant, and it was so much fun. You know?
It's fun.
Yeah, what you do is you take a tablet, and they do have, and most restaurants will do this. If you ask, they'll have an English setting on the tablet. You then look at it. You put into the tablet what you want to order. Just punch it in, and here comes, a minute or two later, a bullet train shoots over, and it stops right at your
booth.
right at your booth, and you take it off the train and set it down. And there's actually two levels. One can come in a lower level, and a door opens, and you take your things there, or the bullet train can come in the upper level. And the food was absolutely excellent.
It really was.
And it was a ton of fun sitting there with friends and trying different things and having the train keep coming and bring it. And here's the amazing part. For all the sushi we had drinks, we had everything. It came to around $20 a person, which was unbelievably affordable. Yeah, it was. We were shocked actually how affordable it was. So have fun, find a restaurant
Try
like
new
this.
places.
Yeah, and it was on the upper level, kind of in the back of the shopping area. Certainly not a touristy place. Everyone else in there were locals, and that's what you want to find.
Packed. It was packed.
It absolutely was, and that was excellent. Well, after our sushi meal, we had to walk that off because we ate plenty of sushi. So we decided to walk back to our ship. And again, we, on the way back, walked through Chinatown at night, and that was quite beautiful. All lit up, and all the different banners. And
we were probably only a mile away from our ship,
right,
maybe a mile
exactly,
and a half.
yeah, very walkable. And,
Yes.
and Nagasaki is a very, very walkable town, but also the public transportation is very easy and very safe, incredibly safe.
I felt very comfortable there.
Right.
Yes. Oh.
So then we walked back to the ship, and it was thank goodness it was a late onboard. I think it was 8:30 at night was all aboard. Got on our ship and.
Yeah, and get ready for the next day.
Where are we heading the next day?
Kagoshima,
Japan, the home of Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
And that is what you're going to see us have tomorrow, is one of the best steak dinners we've ever had in our life.
It's a treat, friends. So be sure, as we always say, like, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you won't miss our next episode. And we appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.